everyone, and welcome back to Tomb Out of Time, the real-time D&D series where you too can be a part of the fun. I am Miguel, your friendly neighborhood werewolf and dungeon master, and I'd like to welcome you to this pirate-themed episode of this adventure. So, we return to our adventure in Fort Belurian, where Liara has acquired a ship for the rest of the party, so welcome to your guys' new mission, titled Blood in the Water. So, after a few days, you guys bid your original employer goodbye, River Mist and Flask of Wine, head on out, and you guys board a ship.
Before we do that, that intelligence that I rolled earlier, what's she for?
Regarding that intelligence roll, so Q, as someone who is most familiar with D&D, you recognize this as module bullshit. aka when you're away from certain settlements, things cost more money, so the DM claims no responsibility over this. It's actually written in the fucking book. But when you see the cost of the, like, basically when you saw the 50% hike up rate in the previous episode, you kind of noticed that it's just like, this seems like something that won't be an issue in Port Nianzaro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from here on out, the size of the settlement you would parse would determine the cost of materials.
Oh boy.
AK, you have a bonus whenever you're trying to haggle.
Oh boy.
Congratulations, you've received expertise on haggle.
Goodness, I'm gonna mark that down on my I'm gonna mark that down on my sheet.
But yeah, I will just show you guys the boat before we move to the big one again. Cause yeah, so there's sailboats. That's what exists here. You sail on sailboats.
Yippee!
But yeah, so this is where you guys are going to spend your next little while. And I have a special random encounter list for this one. So, before we officially start the hex crawl, we're going to move to the map. So basically, Fort Belurian is directly connected. You can kind of see there's this little line here that leads to the sea. Fort Belurian is directly connected to the ocean, so we're going to zoom way out here. And I'm going to pop up where we're going. Because, you guys are going somewhere called the Jahaka Anchorage.
Oh.
Bring to front.
Sounds fancy.
Change layer. Map. So if you make your way to the leftmost portion of the map, at the tip of one of the mountain thingies...
Oh, that's a while, okay.
That being said, I have good news. You guys, instead of moving 2 hexes a day, you move 6 hexes a day.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So yeah, Boat make you go a lot faster.
Yeah.
So here's generally how things are going to go. I need one person to roll me 3d20s per day. And I need one person to roll me a d10 per day. And one person to take control of the token.
I can do the d10.
I can control the boat.
I'll do the 3d20s.
Alright. So, for ease of rolls, the Ben, for every 2 hexes that we pass, you can roll d20.
Just one d20 for each hex we pass?
I mean, either that, or if you want to roll 3 d20s per every 6 hexes.
Okay. For every 6 hexes.
Alright, so you guys are going to be basically going... I don't need the text feature, I need the ruler. You guys are basically going to be going around this way. And the good news is, you don't have to worry about your rations while you're traveling by sea. And you don't have to worry about land issues that you normally encounter. So, it comes with its own benefits and drawbacks.
Yeah.
So it's time for ocean.
Ocean.
Alright.
Moving the first hex.
Alright, so, yeah, so I'm gonna actually make an addendum to that. Move 2 hexes at a time.
There's the second hex.
Alright. Ben, your d20, hand it over.
D20, whoop. 5.
Alright, you guys are good. Another 2. Another d20.
Oh no.
Well, I have good news for you. That doesn't trigger an encounter.
Yay!
Alright. And then 2 more hexes.
Bam.
Ben?
4.
Alright. You guys have a peaceful first day of travel. Fire, could you roll me a d10, please? Okay. Good news, you have sunny, clear skies and good tailwinds. So you guys are going to get to move 10 hexes today.
Oh boy!
Oh boy.
But don't worry about rolling more than 3 d20s because encounters are based on time of day. So, Noid, go ahead and move me 3 hexes. Then?
Yep. Getting them out of the way, so...
It's better to have them here during random encounter time.
Yeah.
Alright. Another 3. Obviously, Ben, you know, whenever we're passing by.
Oh my god, okay.
This is in your favor.
Yeah, but I am terrified of that die now.
All right.
If it happens again, I'm gonna just refresh.
I was going to say, Ben, try rolling one more time just for grins. You might be value locked.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Noid, go ahead and move us 4. All right. You guys are on day 2 of sailing, so we're going into day 3. And, Talia, roll me the weather die. All right. Clear skies again. No tailwind. So, traditional 6. So,
Okay.
roll me 2. Or move me 2. Blech. All right.
There we go.
All right. Moose, since you're the only one that's not rolling, I need you to roll me a d8.
Oh no.
All right. Oh boy! This is going
Also,
to be fun.
I think during these sailing moments, there is ample time for possible maybe RP.
Yes. If there's anything you guys would like to do in terms of interacting, please let me know. But on day 3 of your sailing voyage, we are going to go to our Boat map.
Boy.
Because we gotta fight in the water. Alright. So, what are you guys doing? How are you spending your sailing time?
I think Q, not really knowing how else to spend his time, would be just trying to get a better handle on how to use weapon and shield, doing some combat training.
Alright.
Jackson's gonna be a fucking idiot, seemingly. But he's like constantly like going around the ship, like on the very rails of it, but looking like he's not like tipping over or anything like that. Like he's very comfortable just walking on the sides of ships.
Okay. Talia, you had something you wanted to say?
Oh, just that if Q's trying to do combat training, yeah, hi, hello, Talia has entered the chat, and she would absolutely be trying to get him to improve, since,
Alright.
you know, she's well versed in that.
He would welcome the assistance.
I'll tell you what. Talia, roll me 3 acrobatics checks, and Q, give me 3 athletics checks.
You got it.
Okay.
Woo.
Damn.
Very nice at that one.
Yeah, Talia, you see that as... Basically, I'm accounting these for a day's worth of training each, so... On the 3rd day, particularly today, Q is absolutely kicking it. You just see him... He's really picked up a lot of information that you've taught him, and you can see how much he's improved.
It is during these training sessions that Dahlia would realize that he is very much a physical learner instead of a theory books learner.
That's great, because there's nothing but physical learning ahead for him with Talia's style of teaching.
Fantastic.
So yes, Talia is quite pleased at this. It actually just kind of gives him a look just like, not bad though, Twig.
Always trying my best. Especially because it's kind of... It's that special interest button.
Alright. Electris, what are you doing during this time?
I figure when Eletris is not assisting with meal prep, or he's probably engaging in combat training as well, but I think he's also trying to figure out basically how to call upon the power within his holy symbol again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a religion check.
Oh boy, no bonus at all.
That's
But a
pretty good.
fantastic roll!
Yeah, so Eletris, it's about, let's say it's about noontime right now. As you are kind of sitting down, like, do you want to maybe be seated on one of the by one of the masts?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and move him.
Alright. As you are seated at the base of one of the masts, you're just kind of sitting in a very... You're sitting in a very meditative state, and you're taking deep breaths, and as the sun, even in its crescent state, is over high, you feel a little bit of a swell of familiarity. As if something from your past is just ever so gently creeping at the back of your mind. And as you're sitting there, you remember Asaja's words about your soul being akin to starlight.
He's just kind of thinking to himself that maybe there's something to that after all. Though, quick question: how's the deity's name pronounced again?
Ehekatl.
Ehekatl. I think he's going to try to basically ask, like, ask if Ehekatl is there, like, listening.
As you're sitting there and you kind of ask that, you just feel a strange sense of absence, as if you're talking just to yourself. Despite the warmth that you felt, it also feels like you're weirdly alone.
Well, I suppose that's to be expected if, the god's missing. And this is just Eletris to himself. Still, he's kind of looking at his holy symbol. There's something here, something that maybe I can use, maybe something that I can actually do what Asaja said. I don't know.
Do you continue to meditate?
He is going to try.
Alright. As you're meditating, you're just kind of sitting back and thinking to that night when you went out to dinner with Asaja, and you're trying to parse a little bit of what he said, and you're realizing how little you know. But you're also realizing that you kind of miss him.
He's just kind of trying to put together, he's trying to put together what he knows. He's realizing how little that he knows and just how much Asaja was able to tell him over the course of a single evening. And he's just kind of maybe if you were around, this would be easier. There would be an easier way of understanding this, or at least I could feel like I can bullshit my way through it, like fail forward, maybe. But I'm just here. And he's just kind of running his thumb over the holy symbol, just and I know I'm not alone, but can't help but feel that way sometimes.
You feel a small twinge in your heart as that thought crosses your mind.
I think that's when Eletris stops meditating and he kind of basically leans his back against the mast and kind of tucks his knees up to his chest.
Is he trying to hide that he's generally not in a good state?
Kinda, yeah.
Alright. In that case, I want you to make me a performance check. Okay. I'm going to give folks the option whether they want to notice this or not.
Paul.
If not, we can also move on to the combat encounter.
I mean,
He
I'm
was
not
a-
opposed. Oh, go ahead.
He was a bit preoccupied with keeping up with his training. Even if it's like self drills.
Hey, Jackson's keeping an ear open.
All right.
I guess then Talia, being a woman who's much more direct, if she does notice, just looks around for a moment, sighs before settling down next to him and just. You look like you're ready to burst.
It's one way of putting it, I guess.
I wouldn't call myself the most sensitive, insightful person, but even I can tell when someone's locked in their head.
Well, I wouldn't call you that either. Part of your charm, I guess.
Congratulations. There is the faintest sign of a snort from her before her shoulder kind of juts against his for a moment. You keep that up and you're going to end up overboard.
Yeah, well, who knows? God, in this new body, I don't even know if I float.
Look, if you don't want to talk about it, that's your prerogative. I ain't gonna pry unless it looks like it's about to, break you apart. But you should at least talk to someone.
That's just the thing. I don't know who I can talk to. Especially about, and he just kind of like shows her the holy symbol, just this. I I don't know if I believed in, a god back in my old life. I was never particularly religious. There was just so much shit happening in the world that it was almost more comforting to believe that it was random and not part of some grand design. And here, I can shoot light from this thing. I can make, berries out of nothing. And apparently this power is something that was granted to me by something that I don't even know about, let alone worship. And there's some kind of tie between me and it. I don't understand it. And I know damn well that no one else here does. And the one person who might have, well, they're not here. And I don't know who I can rely on for answers.
She's gonna kind of take it in for a few moments before you see her chest noticeably deflate as she lets out a sigh. I mean, you're right. None of us have answers to that, but that doesn't mean that they can't be found. And that doesn't mean that I might not have an idea as to where. I'm gonna repeat that because apparently, it didn't come through.
My headphones blocked it out.
Yes.
None of us have the answers here. That's right. But that doesn't mean that they can't be found. That also doesn't mean that I don't have an idea as to where to start.
What are you thinking?
There's a kid back at the Sleeping Lion. There. She chooses her words very carefully because of the surroundings. There's someone who would know about this. And I think that'd be a good idea to follow up with them. I think that there might be a bit more going on with the whole thing. And given how you reacted specifically with you.
I suppose it's something to look into. Granted, he gestures to the ship. Survive this.
Well, then you better not fucking drop.
Awesome. No pressure.
Talia just looks at him with a blink before putting a hand on his shoulder. Just. You've got something that you want to do, aye?
Well, yeah, don't we all?
You got someone you want to see?
Yes.
Then you hold on to that so tight that not a single fucking demon from hell can rip it from your grasp. And that'll carry you through. And if you have to, hold on to that when you're trying to do whatever it is. As she gestures at the amulet. Because if that person saw something, then maybe that gives you something to believe in. Aye?
I guess. Just. What if they saw something that's not there?
And that means you gotta make something happen yourself.
You're not really one for giving motivational speeches, are you?
There is a very deadpan look on her face, and it's just.
You're just now finding this out?
That look is very rapidly shot into a very piercing one towards Jackson.
It's really good
I
that you're looking
don't-
at Jackson. I don't want to
Oh,
interrupt
boy.
too much, but Jackson's
Sure thing.
relevant. Oh god, I love how my screen's glitching.
Yippee!
Yippee! Let's. Alright, let's just drag you over here. I'm so sorry, Xerxes, you're gonna have to exist on the main screen where people can't see you. But, Talia, as soon as you look over to Jackson, you see a pair of green jaws snap at his tail that's currently hanging over the edge of the boat.
Out comes the rifle.
He puts his hand up. Hey, watch where you're putting that thing.
She's just like, hold on to the rail!
What do you think I've been doing the entire time?
Jackson, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy, I can do that.
Hold on, I gotta double check.
Can Eletris give him guidance?
Yes.
Dexterity save. Oh, come the fuck on.
All right, Jackson, you feel as you are pulled into the water.
What?
God damn it.
And an itty bitty bebe dragon is currently pulling at your, like, basically pulling on your tail.
I'm in the water now.
Oh no, I'm in the water. And yes, you're in the water.
Yeah, sees that, just tries to pull away. It's like, oh, what the fuck are you? So remember, hasn't seen a dragon before, so
I'm gonna let the rest of the group, at least waddle over if they want to see what's going on.
Yeah, Talia's over. She's already got the rifle cocked and aimed at this thing. She is ready to fire at a moment's notice.
Alright, Jackson, I need you to roll me a... Why am I forgetting? I need you to roll me another, Actually, no, I need you to roll me an athletics check.
why does it have to be athletics? That's even worse.
Alright,
9.
and let's see what the bebe rolls.
It's just a baby.
He's just a bebe.
The baby's probably stronger than him, so.
Very much so.
Christ.
Oh boy.
Alright, you guys hear a plunk sound as you watch as Jackson is dragged to the other side of the ship. Everybody, please roll me initiative.
Bastard.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Green Dragon Bebe. Alright, good news is everybody else is going first. I think that's everybody, right?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Alright. Talia, you're up first.
Oh boy. Do I favorite foe or not?
I don't know, do you favorite foe?
I'm debating because this is a baby. She can tell it's very small, but she can also tell that, there's at least some mild predatory behavior.
That just implies that your favorite foe is a baby.
Oh no, it's when I hit a creature with an attack roll, I can
I know what
mark
you
it.
mean, but the way you were saying it's like my favorite target is in fact baby.
Become enemies with child.
My brain was very unkind to you for a second. Sorry.
Oh, no.
So there is at least going to be an attempt on her part to get it to let him go. So she is going to fire a shot towards this thing, but she's not aiming for the head at the very least.
Alright.
She's definitely trying to startle it at the very least, if not give it enough of an injury to be just like, oh god!
I'm gonna need you to be on the other side of the ship, so Jackson is about 10 feet below you guys right now.
Sure thing. I'll use my movement speed for that. Alright, and give me a moment. I'm actually going to have her use the sidearm, just because it's a lower damage threshold, especially if she's not trying to immediately kill this thing.
Okay, that hits for 7 piercing damage.
Is that enough to get it to let go of him and startle after being startled?
It lets go of Jackson's tail. However, it's not swimming away.
I see. but he is at least freed. That's good.
Yes. Is that your turn?
At this point, she is now switching, using the rest of any movement or action she has to swap to the rifle, just in case.
Alright. Eletris, you just saw your friend get dragged away by a baby dragon.
So, first of all, Eletris is going to move to the other side of the ship. And I think seeing that Jackson is now free of this thing, actually, let me check something real quick. Okay, I think it should reach. He's got some rope that he can use, that he can toss to Jackson to try and get him back on board.
Alright. So you want to use your action throwing a rope?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, you throw a rope, and we're just going to draw it. So, Jackson, you can use your turn to climb back up onto the boat.
Gotcha. I feel like I have to use my bonus action to disengage then, so...
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Eletris, is that the rest of your turn?
I can't really think of much else he would really do at this point. He's not going to try to attack thing. I think as soon as Jackson takes the rope, he's going to try to assist in helping him climb aboard.
Okay. Xerxes' turn. Let me double check what Xerxes can do. Xerxes is going to call out to you guys and ask if we're intent on killing this thing or not.
Talia's answer is that she shoulders the rifle just a bit more. Just, if it tries something again, perhaps.
Alright. Xerxes is going to hold an action and wait until Talia acts. Jackson, you have up to your movement speed.
Up to my movement speed? Yeah, I'm going to disengage. As I'm going away, can I just, like, look over this dragon as, like, as part of my action, just to see if I can, like, discern why they're pulling me into the water specifically, or...
You know what? Yeah, I'll let you roll a nature check.
The nature... Oh, hey... That's not the worst thing. 18.
Nice.
Alright, so you can ascertain that this type of dragon is definitely amphibious by the fact that it has, like, webbing on its back, and its wings seem to be kind of ideal for swimming, so as it's paddling along, you notice that it seems like it's not quite fast enough for hunting larger prey, so it likely saw your tail as basically a lure and an easy catch for lunch.
Yeah. He's gonna disengage and go back up and just kind of pant a little bit. It's like... Poor thing's just looking for food. He kind of looks
Just-
around.
Is that all?
It seems like it.
Oh lord,
Okay,
is my party about to adopt a baby dragon?
Listen, I have
Depends on the baby dragon!
I have distinct instructions that if I run across any kind of dragon, I'm not supposed to kill them. So
So
Don't blame me. Blame my girlfriend. Anyways. Do we have any spare rations or like food on board?
good berries.
It could be something.
All right. Q.
Well, seeing as Jackson's now safe, hearing that the baby uh, dragon is mostly just hungry for food, Q stows away his weapon, comes over here and tosses like one of his rations overboard over towards the baby dragon.
We do have some fish left. That would probably be going bad faster, so.
I mean, yeah, it was probably part of his ration. Yeet.
All right.
Eat the food.
You're throwing the ration out to the baby dragon. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Not bad.
The dragon kind of narrows its eyes before picking up the food. And it's just like... It's kind of like looking at you, Q. And then, in a language... Do any of you speak Draconic?
Oh.
I don't.
I take it
I do.
primordial is something else.
Yeah, Primordial is a different language.
I got Draconic.
You have Draconic?
Yep.
Yeah, you just overhear the little baby dragon go, "Why are you feeding me? That was my kill."
Yeah, it kind of blinks, being like, because you can tell it's like he understands it, but he doesn't understand why he understands it, type of thing.
Q just looks confused because he don't understand the language.
He kind of just looks over at Q, is like, none of you guys are understanding that.
Xerxes raises his hand and says, "I do."
Okay, so I'm not the only one.
I don't know why I understand it, but I understand it.
Yeah, you and me are in the same boat. Okay.
Oh, what did they say?
Asking why we're feeding him, I was supposed to be the kill.
Q just sighs and turns back towards the dragon. We weren't gonna let you kill our friend. You can keep that. Because, well, quite frankly, I don't need it anymore. You look hungry. You're not getting our friend. If you try, you're basically... We're gonna defend our friend. By force.
Alright, roll me an intimidation check.
It's exactly meant to be an intimidation. But here we go.
Yeah, you just see as the dragon kind of reels back a little bit, and then as they're paddling away from you, they stick their tongue out. It's just like he looks to Talia, is just like, "You're mean," and then paddles away. Encounter over, I guess.
Yippee!
At least the baby dragon survived with basically scratches.
They have a cool battle scar to impress their other dragon friends.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kill it and then having the mom be up our asses, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson kind of looks at that, sees him paddle away, and then he just looks over. Okay, so what the fuck was that thing?
Well, that was a tiny baby dragon. Probably a proper classification is wormling.
That was a dragon.
A baby one.
Okay, looks down at it. Poor sap, wondering why it's doing all the way out here.
Well, we're gonna go back to the.
Given what you translated, he was, or they were looking for food.
Yeah, but one so tiny
And-
like that. Just by themselves?
I don't know how dragons work.
Q, you remember in Dungeons and Dragons that green dragons are amphibious and can live underwater.
Well, yes. That much he could gather by just looking.
Jackson wasn't into that nerd shit. He was a cool guy before he got shot. Anyways.
Oh no. Anyway.
Talia just has that expression from the press X to doubt meme.
Alright. Noid, 2 hexes. Jackson, a d20, please.
Yippee! 9.
Nothing.
Alright, I'm gonna move 2 more hexes, and then I think me and Fire can do the RP thing she had in mind.
Alright, yep, Jackson, we're good. Talia, real quick before you do the RP, can you just, yes, thank you. It is currently raining, but it is not a severe rain. You guys are just below deck right now.
So everyone's below deck, kind of resting, and Q, by nature of how he is, most likely is away from a good bit of the others. And he's going to hear footfalls behind him before Talia settles down close by. I take it you won't mind if I bend your ear for a moment.
Well, as long as it's the metaphorical kind.
Oh, that ear probably won't bend. It'll probably break right off like a piece of bark.
I don't want to test.
In any case. I've had quite a few questions on my mind since the start of this whole adventure of madness, so to speak.
I kind of figured.
What exactly do you know of the Imperium?
Well, like I mentioned previously, it's not a whole lot. I only really know basic surface information, maybe some further details, but I wasn't exactly I didn't exactly pay too much attention to the lore of the history of your times time. I don't know how to word it.
You can tell Talia's staring critically, but not in a like judgmental sense. It's more she was paying very close attention to you and the word you were saying and the way you were saying them. It is a very intense look, is what I'm saying. Not angry, just very focused. Just, what bits do you know?
What specifically do you want to know?
She kind of pinches the bridge of her nose a little bit, just. Was it all just historical, or I'm trying to figure out how much might be out there about not just the Imperium, but because of all of this time bullshit, it, I'm trying to figure out if there might be knowledge of things beyond what I might know. Beyond the time I was in.
Well, most of the things that I myself am aware of center around the 41st millennium. And there are, from what I remember, a multitude of books and stories and these sort of miniature figurines that people like to paint in the official colors of the armies of either the Imperium of Man or the swarms of the Tyrannid or the hodgepodge of the orcs or even the uh, maybe enclave of the Tau. And I think there might even be some of the fucking skeleton robot things. But point is, there are a lot of miniature figurines of a lot of the factions that I'm sure you're aware of, and there are a lot of stories written from inside the Imperium of Man, from within some chapters of the Space Marines, and from within the opposing factions to the Imperium of Man and stuff like that.
Talia is very quiet for a moment, but you can tell that her expression is shifted to one of increasing surprise and just hold on. These figurines, you said that they were used to enact battles. Like a game of strategy.
Well, yes, there those of us at the time who were interested in Warhammer 40k, he says with physical air quotes, purchased figurines modeled after many of the soldiers within each factions, and those who set up events for it had one faction versus another faction, and there's a whole system for it. But yes, it was a mostly a game of war tactics against each other faction.
It is not a fun time in Talia's mind right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because yeah, you're gonna see is just a hand goes up to cradle her head and just sinks against the support. Just so let me get this straight. There's all manner of unknowable information freely available in your time, whether it be regarding the Imperium, the forces of chaos, Tyranids, other Xenos. And not just that, but and she just pauses for a moment before an expression of anger forms on her face, but it's not directed at Q, and just son of a bitch. Like pieces on a board. That's how that bastard. If this where we are exists outside of everything familiar, then there's the chance that it's a similar situation, like how like how Imperium forces could be just these pieces that are moved about at the whims of those engaging in that recreation. Then who's to say that it's not a similar thing as what's happening here? There's some kind of bridge.
While I'm sure that there might be this moment here might just be a fiction in another place, that doesn't mean that it's not reality for us.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that might be how we got here in the first place. That gormless prick snatched my sister here. I watched her die in front of me in battle, but she's here. Well, if we're going to be reduced to pieces on the board, then I'm going to make goddamn sure that there's nothing left for him to be able to use by the time that I'm done with him.
Right. I'll endeavor to do my best to assist with you with that. Not like I have anything better to do, or I can do anything else.
The best thing you can do is make sure that you just make sure that you don't leave yourself open the way you have.
I can only promise to try.
You're at least improving. But don't let that get to your head.
Trust me, there's no one more critical of myself than myself.
Honesty.
Yeah, well, that's the way of things, isn't it? She's going to stand, give Q a look, and then kind of place a hand on his head, just... You're better than I made you out to be.
Thanks, I guess.
Well, you did it yourself, so don't go making me regret that,
I'll try not to.
Oh boy, psych damage!
Talia casually pulling at all of her heartstrings. Don't mind her.
What do you mean heartstrings?
Way.
Somft.
She's trying to piece together a lot of different things about reality itself, and I think she's put something together in her head. Whether or not it's accurate, it's reality for her at the moment. But it makes fucking sense. Just, motherfucker, he exists outside of these different realities, son of a bitch.
I won't tell y'all what a Serac is. You're just gonna have to wait until the final boss fight.
Yippee!
But that being said, the weather's good. 6 hexes.
Dude, that's 2.
12.
Nothing.
Another 2.
Yep. 16.
Nothing. Also, Talia, you get a 1d4 to your next attack, check, or save.
Oh boy!
And a final 2.
And now we await to see.
16.
Alright. The skies are cloudy, but otherwise clear. Onwards to day 5.
Oop.
I just have Lanabe Blue stuck in my head.
Ah. Whoop. 2.
Nothing.
Deuce.
6.
Nothing.
Roll this for +30.
And dose.
11.
And nothing. And another d4 to Q.
Yep. Damn, okay.
Gentle showers. Xerxes is currently standing out on the deck cleaning his wings. You know, like a bug would do.
Limo.
Hey Q, do you have a panic?
I
It's not as sexy as you'd think.
yeah, no, not really.
He's basically just kind of out there, like, taking little, like, scoops of water in his hands and kind of just, like, cleaning the wings out and cleaning his carapace. It's like the way that you would wash a dog, for lack of a better word.
Okay, so maybe not a panic, but you can still have a heart squeeze moment of, why is that endearing?
God.
He's taking care of his little antennae. Alright. Day 6.
Ooh.
Well, 18.
Alright, Moose, roll me a d8.
Oh boy.
Alright, I need everybody to roll me a d100.
Oh boy.
62.
Alright, as you guys are sitting down for your lunch, Q, a seagull steals your sandwich.
Aww!
That's fucking rude.
It starts
seagull.
flying back towards the mountains as it has your sandwich in tow.
That's seagulls for you, baby.
Its little web
Dude.
foot pulls into a middle finger.
Q does a middle finger right back.
God.
Alright,
Talia lets out a sigh, hands over her food because, god damn it, she can survive on less.
Q, I need you to roll
No.
me a dexterity save.
Right as Q is about to say, no, you eat that.
Q, you get pooped on by the seagull circling back.
Oh my god.
No, the D4 is not going to help you. If you want, your
Yeah,
friends can hold you over the edge of the boat to wash your hair out.
Oh dear God.
I have create water. I can help.
Yeah, I'll just say, Electris, be a bro. Be a bro, help him wash over the side of the ship.
Yeah, on the moment when he got pooped on, he just clutches his fist and just does slow, steady breathing. I'm not gonna kill that seagull. I'm not gonna kill that seagull. I'm not gonna kill that seagull.
Jesus Christ.
This is purely, he is not going to do that, but he's just saying that so that he's not actually going to even try it.
Oh God.
It turns out that seagull is a Sarac. A Sarac wanted the sandwich.
Bastard.
Add another tally to the book of his sins that we will carve into his hide.
Ah.
Alright. Two more X's. Excuse me.
I think there's still 4 more hexes to go.
Yeah, we're doing it 2 at a time.
There we go.
Oh,
Nothing.
9. 9.
Alright, Talia, weather check.
Fuck!
Okay, it is severe winds and thunderstorming the following day. You guys only have 3 hexes to move.
Exit.
Alright, first hex and then a roll.
4.
Nothing.
2.
Nothing.
Dude.
7.
Nothing. Weather roll, please. Okay. Cloudy skies, otherwise good.
Question, should we be rolling for the training stuff at all?
You're not going to, unless you're aiming to learn something very specific, you're not going to be getting any extra proficiencies.
Yeah, not really at this moment.
Alright. You have
The
6
dose.
hexes today.
11.
Nuttin.
2.
9.
Nuttin.
The hexes.
12.
And a Nuttin. Weather check, please.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no!
Son of a bitch!
Okay, I need everybody to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, no.
Well,
Oh, boy.
shit.
Time to die of dysentery on the ship. Oh, wait, wrong game.
Talia and Q both have a bonus.
That is true.
Yeah,
We
the
both have a
D4.
+4.
Plus 1d4.
They said con save, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
con
Constitution save.
Oh, no. Oh, that's when you roll good? Okay, Jackson.
I will still roll the goodness. I will still roll the D4. That is a 8.
Alright, okay, first off, Talia, you're doing just fine. You're kind of swaying with the rocking of the ship. It's a very heavy storm, and you guys spend the next day stationary. Electris, you're a little queasy, but you're okay. Jackson, you're built for this shit.
Hell yeah.
Q, you throw up once, but other than that, you're fine. Xerxes is currently laying on his back like a dead bug. He's not having a good time right now.
What kind of dead bug?
This is when I wish I had lesser restoration.
He's you know how wasps will have their legs curl up to their body when they die?
Oh, God.
He's currently curled up in the fetal position, rolling about as the ship tumbles him.
Oh, dear God. Poor man's.
If it weren't for the fact that there's a porthole in your guys' part of the ship, he probably would have melted a hole in the hole.
Oh boy.
Alright, and let's see here. I think we're on day 8 now. Alright. So... Actually, no, I think we're on day 9 now, because you guys had to spend a day stationary.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah.
Weather roll, please, Talia. Alright, skies are clear.
Thank Christ!
Huh.
You guys basically just got caught in what was essentially the equivalent of a cyclone, so...
Damn.
Yippee!
Alright.
Anyway,
Six.
X.
Yep.
You did about 18.
Alright, Moose, D8. A 4? What do we have here? Alright. As you guys are happily sailing along, you see a plesiosaurus just very lazily floating along. It's kind of just following behind your guys' ship in the wake, and it's eating little bits of seaweed.
Aw.
Good.
It's just happily paddling, you know?
Just a laugh.
Yeah.
Alright. Next roll.
13.
Nuttin.
Three.
And Nuttin. Alright, Talia, weather roll, please. Okay. It's clear skies, and, Electris, you find yourself sitting out on the deck that particular night. And you're just kind of looking at the waxing gibbous. And it feels like the moon is watching you.
Well, that's ominous.
I don't like that.
You just have a pit in your stomach. And that's all I'm gonna tell you.
Well,
Oh,
that's
boy.
fucking ominous.
Cox shotgun, moon's haunted.
It's haunted.
Alright. Clear skies the next day. 6 hexes.
1 pair.
16.
Nuttin.
2 pair.
10.
Nuttin.
3 pair.
Uno.
A whole lot of nothing. Weather roll, please. Okay, very stormy seas. You only get 3 hexes today.
Alright.
We're so close too, god damn it.
You're literally one
One.
hex away from
I'm
your
so
destination.
sorry.
You're fine.
Alright. Jackson. Nuttin.
14.
Deuce.
Uno.
Nuttin.
And the last one.
Uno.
Alright. And you guys don't have to roll a weather check since you're going to be going into port, so I just need 1 random encounter check.
That's from Moose.
That's from you, Jackson. I need you
Oh.
to roll to see if you get one.
My bad. 2.
Alright. You guys finally make it to Land Ho after about 2 weeks of sailing. And as you guys are pulling into port, that is where we are going to call it for today.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Wasn't exactly a pirate-themed episode, but it was certainly sailing.
Sailing.
It's okay. The exciting stuff will happen next episode, aka in 2 weeks.
See, as we were moving across the hexes with each roll, I just imagined the Indiana Jones theme just starting and stopping.
Ba 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 ba.
Exactly like that, yeah.
Damn it, that got a good belly laugh.
It's ba,
No! You can't do this to me! I'm
Ba,
weak.
ba, 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 ba.
Oh, okay, I'm good. I'm good. But that being said, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this slightly shorter episode of Tomb Out of Time, and make sure to tune in next time for actual pirate shenanigans. This is like the calmest hex crawl ever.
I
What
mean,
can I say? My dice rolls.
I'm just happy all those ones were burned on the fucking traversal.
I know. I'm hoping
Yeah.
to get more nat 20s next session.
Q, I'm
Not
so
on the
sorry
hex
about the
crawl.
sandwich.
Hey, it happens.
Yeah, like,
At least there was enough fish to satiate the other hunger.
I mean, the good news is it's not going to cover all of it, but at least it'll cover you for now.
He's not at risk of immediately, suffering the withdrawals.
Yes.
You're just eating iron-rich fish with spinach.
Yes.
Da 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 da.
He's Popeye the Sailor Man. Also, Jackson, I will give you the option if you want to learn how to navigate sea vehicles if you want.
Oh boy.
Who let
Yeah.
the Foxman drive?
I will
I mean, he's
permit
been
you
on ships,
pirate
he's-
permissions.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Also, one slight question.
Yes.
Do we get a level up?
It's so funny that you ask that, because yes, you're officially level 3 now.
Oh boy!
Yes!
Congratulations! You figured it out and did it the peaceful way.
AKA my rolls were such dog shit.
Sometimes it's good to have dog shit.
Yeah,
You basically threaded the needle between all of the encounter rolls.
I know. I assume the encounter rolls
It was
are all
beautiful.
like 17 and higher, right?
It is 17 and higher, yes.
Alright.
And next time, you guys are gonna have a boat of your own.
Hell yeah.
Yippee!
We're on a boat.
I can finally access my oath shit.
Yes. But for those tuning in on the YouTube side, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.